Hey guys, this is Ray, owner of RR Diesel. Welcome back to my shop and my channel. And today I wanted to do another video and follow up to a lot of response that I have gotten due to some big news. And big news was the announcement from the EPA yesterday. And the title of the article, which I'm going to show you right here, is EPA launches the biggest deregulatory action in U.S. history. And Lee Zeldin put out a YouTube video that you can go and watch, and I'll leave a link in the description. And basically he lays out a plan to roll back a lot of regulations. Now, in response to that, there have been quite a few YouTubers who have put out videos discussing this, so I'm not the first. I'm just following up based upon that. But also I've had a lot of people comment on my channel and send messages basically wanting to know, can we now delete the emissions off our diesel vehicles? And I've actually had some people to leave some not so nice messages as well, saying that I'm defending the Green New Deal standards, emission standards, and all that good stuff. And no, I'm just trying to bring common sense into the equation and just merely trying to report facts as best I can. I don't know everything, guys. I'm not an expert on everything here that I'm discussing, but I'm just trying to, let you guys know who follow me and also my former and possibly new coming customers, what's going on. So I'm going to pull this article up and I'll show you a couple slides where you can see where I'm coming from. So the article comes from the EPA's website, and it's titled EPA launches the biggest deregulatory action in U.S. history. It's got a link to the video from Lee Zeldin. And basically, it says here that there's going to be quite a few things that they're going to be looking at and considering as far as deregulation. And what they mean by deregulation is getting some statutes that are currently in place out of the way in an effort to free up consumers, businesses, and the economy as a whole. There's a lot here that does not pertain to the diesel industry in specific, but I'll tell you that quite a bit of this stuff is just really common sense and stuff that needs to be looked at. As far as what relates to the diesel industry, in particular that he mentions here, I believe there is, 31? Yeah, he mentions 31 actions that they're going to be taking and looking at things. So with regards to diesels or gasoline's for vehicles for that matter when it comes to emissions, under the subheading lowering the cost for living for American families, reconsideration of light-duty, medium-duty, heavy-duty vehicle regulations that provided the foundation for the Biden-Harris electric vehicle mandate, car greenhouse gas rules. And the really big one that a lot of people may not understand, and actually I had to go back and look it up myself so I had a good understanding of it, is the reconsideration of the 2009 endangerment finding and the regulations and actions that rely on that finding. So let's talk about these two things. These are the two most important things here that we need to discuss. So reconsideration of light-duty, medium-duty, and heavy-duty vehicle regulations, which were the foundation for the Biden-Harris electric vehicle mandate. So that could be a lot of different things, but the good news is they're going to be looking at light-duty, medium-duty, heavy-duty vehicle emission standards. That applies to us with diesel-powered pickup trucks and all the way up to heavy-duty semis. So they're going to be looking at that. They're probably going to be looking, I'm just speculating here, but they're probably going to be looking into what's in place now and see if it makes sense economically, environmentally, so on and so forth for the American people. And also, and the really big thing here is the reconsideration of the 2009 endangerment finding. What is the endangerment finding? Well, I don't have a full grasp on it myself. I'm not a legal scholar. I have briefly skimmed over the document. It is quite long and full of a lot of words. Okay, so it's probably a playground for environmental lawyers and justices. But basically what it is the stand by the standard in which all modern environmental regulations are based upon. Basically, it's like the cookbook of what can happen based upon science that they claim they have found and compiled back in 2009 that justifies legal actions against tailpipe emissions and so on and so forth. So basically every mandate that they have put out since then and every amendment that they have made to the Clean Air Act since then is based upon this endangerment finding, and they use it as the backbone for all this stuff that they have done since then. So that's the key. If they go back and reevaluate the endangerment finding and they find it, let's just say if they find that the science there is flawed, then that nullifies a lot of arguments and nullifies a lot of amendments and legislation that have been put in place since then. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case. Me personally, my opinion, I think some of the science that they claim is flawed. I think some of the science that's claimed is correct. I think, the truth's somewhere in the middle there, but that's a big thing. So if we ever have the hopes to remove some of this burdensome emissions equipment off our diesel vehicles, then that would be the key, based upon how they reconsider the endangerment finding and how that's going to be applied to amending old regulations and possible future regulations. Now that I have said that, despite what some YouTubers are putting out there, and it's not just one, there's multiple, deleting your diesel vehicle is still illegal at this point in time right now. I've had people comment and say, Ray, does that mean we got the green light based upon what Zeldin said yesterday? No, not legally, no. It gives me hope, and it should give you hope as well, but as far as from a legal standpoint, no. And I've had people beat me up and they say, you're defending, climate regulations, you're defending tree huggers, you're defending the Green New Scam. No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not for all, that kind of stuff. I think that, I want clean air, and I think there's got to be some things done to encourage clean air. But I'm not about having all this stuff on a diesel vehicle either. It's burdensome, it costs too much, and it destroys the life of the investment that personal people, consumers and business owners alike have to deal with. So don't say that I'm trying to defend the environmentalists. I'm not. I'm just trying to let you guys know what the facts are, because it would be bad for everybody to think that it's okay to go delete their truck, and they go out and they start demanding shops to do that, and shops say give in to the pressure, and they start doing it, and then lo and behold, then people might still get in trouble. So we don't want that. We want to make sure things are clear and understood before anybody, myself and anybody else that's legitimate included, were to offer any kind of emissions removal product or services. So right now it's still illegal. Why is it illegal? Because the Clean Air Act, specifically in Section 203, prohibits the sale and use of defeat devices and removing emissions equipment off of automotive vehicles. So it's still there. That's not changed. So for right now, it's still illegal, despite, what some people may say. Now, I'm hopeful it might change. Don't get me wrong. And I think that it very well could. I will tell you that I have reached out to Lee Zeldin's office by email, got his email address, and I have reached out to him personally to, bring a case for us in the diesel industry why some things are just way too burdensome and why some things should be reconsidered and why in some cases deleting should be an option. And I've also, tried to explain, who I am and where I've been and so on and so forth. And if I hear anything back from that email, I'll definitely let you guys know. But I've reached, in part of that reaching out to him, I also wanted to get some clarity on where things are at and where things might be going, because the statements that were made just yesterday by him and his office, is great. It covers a lot of territory, but it's, broad topic. It's not very specific. It doesn't deal with the actual topic of emissions removal, deleting, get rid of that burden on our vehicles. So just going to have to wait a little while longer, guys, and see what happens on that. Guys, what do you think? I encourage your comments. Obviously, I'm going to get some good ones, and obviously, I'm going to get some bad ones. It's all a part about free speech, so you say what you want. But please, when you comment, I ask that, you be polite and so on and so forth. But as always, guys, I appreciate your following. Give the video a like. Subscribe to my channel. I'm not a professional YouTuber, but I appreciate every little thing that you do, your support. It means a lot. I've got a lot of passion about the diesel performance industry. I got a lot of passion about the automotive performance industry in general. I love it, and I want to see it be able to move on. But let me just end with this, guys. If and when deletes become legal again, please be responsible. Don't start rolling coal and blacking out streets with heavy smoke. We all know that that's not the sign of a properly tuned diesel. That is not a sign of peak performance. And all that does is put a big old target on our back for future regulation. As always, guys, thank you for following on. God bless each and every one of you, and we will see you again soon.